Hey there, Tom Romeo from PCS, and today we're going to create a primary domain controller on the brand new VM that we just created in Azure. So to do that, I'm going to load Server Manager, go right on down to Local Server, scroll to the bottom, and click on Roles and Features, Add Roles and Features. Okay. And what we're going to do is Active Directory Domain Services. I don't think we need Federation services or the lightweight services. And I'm just going to take all the defaults, just like that. And it'll automatically restart the server when it's done, if it's necessary. Okay, so while that's going on, we're going to pause the video. Alrighty, so we are at this domain, and you see how it finished and it didn't reboot. So I can just close this window. And now you might ask, well, what do we do next? I installed the domain features. Now what do we do? Well, if you click up here under Manage and go to that little triangle, you see it says Post-Deployment Configuration. Promote this server to domain controller. That's what we need to do. And since this is not going to an existing domain, we're going to add it to a new forest. And the domain is going to be called pcstraverse.com. And we'll leave all those defaults as they are. Now it asks for a password here, and this is interesting because every time I've done this, I've never actually had to use this password again, but I think it might be when you do some reconfiguration. So we put in a password here. I'm not going to add a DNS server right? And we've got no DNS delegation. We didn't install DNS server because I'm going to use Azure as the DNS server. Okay. Now the NetBIOS name is interesting because it is going to be the name of the domain. And it can't be more than 15 characters. I'm going to take all the defaults here. And it should do it for us. It should create this domain for us. And then we might need to reboot. We might not. Right? These are just warnings. We're all set. Maybe I'll pause the video until we're done. Okay, so if you can see this, I'm about to be signed out because the computer is being restarted, and that's cool. So I'm going to close it. Oh, look, it's restarting for me. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to log back into it and then start configuring Active Directory. Or maybe we'll do a separate video for that. Yeah, no. Let's make it all part of this video. Okay, so I'm logging back into the VM. And it's doing this group policy client thing, so that's fine. We're just going to let that run. I'm going to pause the video, and as soon as it's done, we'll resume. Okay, so the VM is back up and running. Now we're going to look at a couple of things. You ready? I'm going to hit the Windows key and the letter X and do computer management. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because, remember, we've got a local account that we set up originally on this VM, and I'm still logged in as that local account. But you notice here that it isn't on this list anymore, right? There was local accounts on this list, but now since this is a primary domain controller, that is gone, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is go to Administrative Tools, go to Active Directory Users and Computers, and you see there's built-in. These are all of the built-in groups. There are users, and this is the actual local user. And what I'm going to do with the local user is properties, password. Where is password? I want to set it so the password never expires. So he's a member of all these groups. Here we go. Password never expires. Cool. Now, what I want to do is add a new user and add myself. Confirm password. All right. I'm going to give myself a password. And now I want to add myself to some groups. And add myself to administrators, but also to domain admins and enterprise admins, if there was such a thing. Cool. And now what I could do is log off and I'm going to log back in, but this time I'm going to log in as myself. Okay, so I've created a primary domain controller. And like I said, the reason why I did that is because we're going to have some Traverse demos that are Forms authenticated, and we're going to have some Traverse demos that are Windows authenticated. So we're going to simulate, connecting to Traverse from the intranet as a Windows authenticated user. So that's it for this video. Next video is going to be installing Traverse. Thanks for watching, and remember, you can download all of our software from our website.